Evans, let me also confirm that you're in the call.
Yeah, I'm on the call, Patrick. Hi.
Awesome. Good evening to you.
Okay, good evening too.
Yes. Thank you so much. And one more person of interest. Let me confirm that our presenter Albert is also in the call.
Hello. Yeah, can hear you, Patrick.
Awesome. Albert, how are you?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm also great. Sorry, today I think I overworked my laptop, so it decided to hang when I was starting the meeting. And thank you very much, Evans, my colleague, for stepping in for me when I was sorting things out. So we will be starting in like the next 2 minutes, just 2 minutes or a minute. Let me just sort something very fast and then we continue from there. So welcome everybody. We'll be starting in a few. Sorry, today we'll not have music because our time is almost okay. Our starting time is almost there. So give me just a second, then we continue. Okay, we are now ready to start. We will start, and then anybody else that joins will just find us in the webinar. And then for your information, this webinar will be recorded. So anybody that joins later or anybody that would like to maybe go back and listen to the content, you can always find the recording on our YouTube channel, whose link will be shared briefly. Now, welcome everybody to today's webinar. My name is Patrick Odhiambo. I'm the Community Manager, Stroke Events Coordinator for CloudForceSky. And just a brief about CloudForce for those who are new to us. So CloudForce is a community of cloud enthusiasts where we come together as learners and builders in the cloud, and we learn about different technologies in the cloud, and then we get opportunities to experiment and also collaborate with each other, even as we work on honing our skills and becoming better at what we do. One of the things that we do as a community is we are so big in terms of continuous development, and we do this through what we call weekly challenges, where we have different challenges that mirror real work situations. The same challenges that you would face, maybe trying to sort a client or help a client out, or working with an organization. You might be called upon maybe to do something in the cloud. So we come up with similar tasks where we solve as a community, and then we have the solutions recorded through one of our sessions such as this. And then also another thing that we're also big at as a community is webinars such as the one that we are about to have today. So through these webinars, we have different categories of webinars. One of them is a learning webinar where we get to see the solutions to the weekly challenges. We also have industry talks where we invite experts such as Albert will be speaking to us today to come and talk to us about different things in the cloud. Some of them are technical, some of them are categorized under soft skills. And then the third category of webinars that we have what we call fireside chat, where we just have people come and talk to us about maybe the emerging issues in the cloud. So it is a very, very interesting community to be in, and you're invited. If you're not part of us, you're invited to come and join us so that we can grow together. I believe in the process of this session, my colleagues will be sharing links in the chat. So if you see a link that interests you, maybe to our channel, maybe to our LinkedIn post, or maybe to the community, please feel free to click and follow through, and then you can always reach out to us. So welcome everybody. And I don't have much to add on that. So without further ado, I'm going to cede the microphone to Albert. So Albert is our speaker today. Albert Sitati is a Technical Azure Consultant with BUI. Maybe he'll tell us a bit about himself and about BUI, and then he will jump right into today's session. So Albert, karibu sana. Welcome to the session. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Can you hear some feedback from your side?
Oh, just a second. Let me mute myself.
Okay, if you do that one, allow me to turn on my camera for the purpose of interaction, and also allow me to quickly share my screen so that we can get this started. Okay, believe you can all see my screen, and also you can also see my face. Yeah, so today you're gathered here to have a chat around the role of the communities in career development. By the virtue of you being in this session, it just speaks volume under the topic of today. You're already in a community, and a community, as you know, can be people who share the same values, share the same goal, same objectives. They come together for you to achieve something. And as Patrick said in the beginning, Sitati Albert, I'm a co-founder at Resource Cloud Academy. I'm also a co-organizer of the Azure Kenya User Group. My passion majorly lies in community development for greater purpose or for greater good. I love seeing communities developing and also assisting people through community work so that they can be able to maybe give their students to be job ready, or if they're professional, to be able to form a network whereby they can share ideas and they can grow. So to jump to our today's session, I'll share just a few slides. I'll make it a chat between myself and you guys. You can have a conversation around this one. Whenever you have a question, just feel free to unmute and ask the question so that we can continue. I'll let me turn off my camera so that you can concentrate on the short presentation that I have. Okay, so what's the role of communities in career development? This, as I chose this topic, this reminded me of some time back when my early years in campus. That is after joining the course that I did. It required that towards the end of the second year, at least you go for an external attachment, and each subsequent year after that one, you have to go for an external attachment. So it was during this time we have reached the end of the second year, and as the norm, we have to look for an external attachment for 3 months before we can come and resume our session. So it was a bit of maybe a number of you have gone through the process. It was a bit of a tedious process whereby you can march into various organizations. You try to seek even the least opportunity that is there so that you can attach yourself there, but it was really hard to get an opening. You try to imagine that you're going to offer, you don't even require money at that point. You're just willing there to give your services there without requiring anything from the team or from the company or the organization, but it was really hard to get this opportunity. Yet eventually, I got the opportunity somewhere as a IT support, just being called here and there if someone maybe has issues with their with their office telephones to fix them. So it was kind of a work that it was not that good as I envisioned while I was choosing this course. Because as I was choosing the course that I did, I was looking at maybe at a point I'll be a telecommunication engineer. I'll be maybe fixing networks in a big organization, designing these networks. But I failed to get that opportunity at that early stage. And the place that I got this opportunity, it was a public office. And as you know, a lot of these public offices, there guys were there. They could literally do not as much as we can expect someone who is working. in some other point, you will see we, the interns, were able to like do almost the same task that the employees were doing. So it wasn't something that really enticed me at that point because of the nature of the work that I was doing. And at the other time, my other colleagues, my other friends had gotten some opportunity to other positions, to other companies, and those were interacting with very beautiful things. People could talk about maybe they were configuring switches, they were maybe they bring up a network of a certain organization, they were really troubleshooting, and you can all imagine those fancy words that my other colleagues were talking about, those Cisco commands as they try to configure traffic between various branches. And that one really intrigued me. I said also, as much as I'm doing this attachment, let me also try to see if I can get a bit of the concept of these guys what they are doing. And by that time, we were doing I started doing CNA. And by the good thing it was, there were these labs whereby you could do simulation. So I could try to build a network. I call it maybe the HQ, and then I call it this is a branch A, branch B. I try to configure the traffic between the various branches. I play around. The tool that I was using was Packet Tracer. I was trying to simulate now these environments. I try to play around it as much as I was not getting the opportunity to practice in an organizational level, but at least I practice these in my lab environment. So that is how everything started, by being intrigued by what my friends were doing, by what they were sharing, by all those good things that they were doing. So the attachment period came to an end. We came back to school to continue with the semester, but since that that enthusiasm was already there from what they already shared, there happened to be this event that was organized by VMware. It was a community group whereby people, they go there, they share current trends about what is new in the VMware ecosystem, and also what are the challenges that the business or the engineers were facing. And during this event also, another chance for me to get to hear a lot of people talking about very good word. So people are talking about now virtualizing servers. You try to think about, for myself, maybe I just used to do a dual boot. Maybe at this point I'm booting as a Windows, then at the other point I can boot my laptop as a Linux. But during this event now, people try to talk about how they're virtualizing servers, how you can have other virtual machines running on top of a server. You have the bare metal server, then you virtualize using in this case, since it was VMware environment, the VMware meetup group. So they're talking about virtualizing this environment using the VMware technologies. But something caught me during this session as I was interacting with a number of the people who are in the industry during the same event. I remember one of my friends now mentioned it because he was already in the industry. He had played around with a VMware environment for quite a considerable amount of time. So at this point, he mentioned that there's a new technology that is coming up. The new technology is cloud computing. When you get some free time, also try to check what this cloud computing is, because as you hear the way you are seeing people, the way you're hearing people talking, they're talking about you can virtualize a server and then you can set up virtual machines. But there's another way where you can also set up some demo servers from a virtual environment, but you're not managing it, so that you can be able to play with it. So the concept is cloud computing. So together with my friends who are in these events, that one also got us intrigued. We believe that when we did our CCNA, so that at that point we looked like at least we are knowing a lot of things. But coming to these events, we got very, very new things, which were VMware and virtualization environments. But again, in the same event, someone is bringing up the concept of cloud computing, whereby you can easily bring up a server, you do your thing, and then you can shut it down, do away with that one, and you pay very less. Because from the event, this VMware event, as people were talking, you could hear a lot of the customer complaining in terms of when it comes to cost and also licensing. So there are a number of the challenges that the customers are bringing up in these events, so that at least the engineers in place or the people who are attending this event can try to give them the way forward. And this person telling us that you can actually deploy a server for your test environment, you can actually deploy your application there. It is affordable to anyone, be it a student, be it any professional, can easily set up that environment. And once you are through with your deployment, you can easily dispose that one. So also that got us intrigued to say, what is this thing that people are talking about? What is this thing that this person is saying about cloud computing? Back then, I didn't have a clear view, because at a point I was wondering, should I take Azure, should I take AWS, should I learn Google Cloud? Because I went and researched what is cloud computing, who are the various vendors, or who are the various cloud providers, where can I learn? So it's a bit of shadow knowledge here and there, not clearly knowing what to take at that point. And then it comes to these points whereby I come across on LinkedIn, I came across people were really posting about their recent achievements. These achievements were them doing the cloud practitioner from a program called Azubi Africa. So I also got intrigued how can someone do these, maybe go through the program, also do the certification, because it was clearly aligning to what I was hearing at that point about cloud computing. I reached out to a couple of the people there, and one referred me to an application link where I did the application. She guided me through the interview process. After going through the interview, it happened that I also joined this program with some of my friends. Now we're in this program, we are learning cloud computing. It's getting interesting because the program was offering various flavor. Also there was a cloud computing in it, there was a bit of Linux in it, a bit of software engineering in it, a bit of databases in it. We go through the program. It was a 3-month program, and at this time we are doing it parallel to our studies. Remember that we are still in school, so we are able to do the program, and also we are able to do the school. So we are alternating. Maybe if someone attend this class, someone attend the school class, the other person will attend the Azubi class. Then in the afternoon we switch. The other person will go for the afternoon class to take notes, and also, as we know, signing for each other, and the other one will try to keep in tabs with the program, so that to ensure that we are always up to date with what's happening at school and also what is happening at this program. So the program came to an end after 3 months, and also that one marks an end of a semester in school. And fortunate enough, after now my 3rd year, also we're going for another external attachment. But now these same things are getting interesting. Unlike my first time when I was going for internship, I was going for an attachment. I was literally walking to a lot of offices, trying to submit my CVs, and also expressing my desire to work with them at a no pay, but it was really hard to me to secure a position. But this time it happens that, based on what we are doing, we are learning the cloud computing and also doing a lot of labbing, and this we are posting on LinkedIn, so people are seeing it. And it happened that this one landed to one of the manager in our local company here in Kenya. The manager saw that what we are doing, and then he asked us if we can join the company and at least assist in terms of pushing for the cloud adoption in that company. So we are very much sure we don't know what is how do we run a business, because knowledge and business is a bit of they are totally different thing, translating your knowledge into a business. Because here now we are going there to assist the company to spearhead cloud adoption among the customers and also on the organization itself, because back then it was something new. So we joined there, we formed this little department there. In that organization there's other departments whereby, as you could expect, people older than us running these various departments. But here comes a group of small individuals, a bit little young in age. They're trying to run this new thing that no one has heard about, the cloud computing. But what comes in handy during that point, it was that we had our friends who were already in the industry and who were running various communities by that time. Some of their friends we had formed at Azubi Africa during the program. Others were just long friends who were ahead of us. So we could form meetings. Most of the time we could form meetings. We try to get what are the people saying about in terms of the cloud adoption, what is the rate of the cloud adoption in Kenyan market, what do maybe the C-suite says about when you talk about them about cloud, and what is the engineers or what are the technical guys, what is their familiarity about the cloud computing thing. So those form around most of our discussion. When you attend any events that were in place, remember one of the events, it was on the DFS 2022. I remember that was the time. I attended there, try to get a number of the people who are already in the cloud market, try to share with them more on how they're trying to do it, on how they're trying to do it on the organization, so that we can at least implement, because there's no need of zero engineering something that is already up. If people are using it, why now just take it and then you can customize it to fit our specific need. So that will become most of the conversation that we are doing that time. And what really came to our attention is that in as much as we are trying to push for, or maybe to speak about the cloud adoption journey for especially the Kenyan tech space, it could be as easy as how the technical guys now understand the cloud computing. And by that time, cloud computing was a new concept, which I think still believe is some of the new concepts to most of the people bearing in this region. So we saw the need of, it would be much easier even for our organizations, even for our companies within this space to adopt cloud if we empower the technical team, because it is the technical team who will now go and talk with the C-suites and then advise them, maybe I see our company are doing this thing in A and B, why don't we move it and do it in terms of B and C? So that is when we started the Resource Cloud Academy with a few friends of mine. We came up and started the Resource Cloud Academy with a vision that at least we are trying to empower and give people skills at a very early stage, so that they can achieve their full potential. That one is in terms of either through hands-on skills or through giving them job opportunities where they could practice this skill. And some time down the line, it's not take too long. There were a number of the positions open at the company that we were by that time, and since we empowered a number of the people through the Resource Cloud Academy, it was much easier to take people from there, the Resource Cloud Academy, and then bring them into the company that we were working, because they're already familiar with the cloud concept. And also through this Resource Cloud Academy, we are also able to, in terms of sharing anything that is coming up, in terms of maybe there's an opening in Nigeria, we need some people to get there to get the necessary skills. It was much easier doing so. We also encourage people doing certifications. How we used to do it, we encourage students, they could do it having a quarterly challenge. Maybe you're saying that in this quarter of the year, you are doing something, maybe it is a fundamental or a practitioner. The next quarter of the year, you're going to do something, an associate or administrator. The other quarter of the year, you are building on already what you have. So you could see that in a year, at least someone has gained 4 different skills from the fundamental level, skill from the administrative level, and also from the expert level. The aim of this one is to ensure that the people who were trying to mentor into the cloud career journeys, they not have the career gaps, the knowledge gaps. At least the people will get the knowledge right on the fundamentals way as they come to the expert level. And I can say proudly that by starting such kind of a challenge, by empowering people to do it in that way, a good chunk of our classmates and also friends around us, most of them got these opportunities, whether it was within the country or after the country. A good number of them already have they got these opportunities. They are there, and as we speak now, at least we can have a lot of people sharing from various places that they work. Why am I sharing this short journey? the thing that I'm sharing, I'm trying to drive is that what do you see a community doing in terms of your career development? How do you see a community? What do you see, or what is the role of this community playing in terms of you upskilling? The first aspect, exposure to new ideas. This is when I was very green and my friends were sharing very fancy words about configuring Cisco routers. My friends were sharing about designing network for an organization. You get to events, you see people are talking about things that get you intrigued. And this one is made easier through communities, because you're doing it alone, you're trying to do the research or gathering all these concepts at once. It might be hard to do it on your own, but you doing it as a team, it will be much easier, and that one can be achieved through communities like this one. You join, then you hear people talking about their DevOps practices, people talking about maybe AI is trending, and then there's this new service. So you get ideas that can intrigue you, and you never know, maybe this idea is the one which can form your next career journey. You may decide to take that career trajectory and try to polish in line with that. Another thing, skill development. So as you have heard during the beginning of the session, where Patrick was saying, they normally also have sessions whereby they tackle challenges that businesses face, or maybe come up with projects, they work together. So through such things, it is where we are fostering knowledge, it is that knowledge sharing and also resource sharing. And this one will foster learning. So people will be able to get, be it technical skills or the soft skills, we are able to get this one through communities by engaging in such kind of forums. The other thing is networking. You get to network with individuals who pursue similar interests. Maybe you're good at cybersecurity, and then you associate yourself with the cybersecurity community. You'll be able to say that it will be much easier for you to be able to network with these people during the events, based on their programs. You people coming together, you share knowledge during those sessions, you interact, and something that you never can tell, something that can open door for you in terms of where you can practice. You can have at least those practice what you have learned. And we see that community will have played a role in terms of, through networking, it is able to catapult your growth in terms of your career trajectory from maybe point A to point B. Other thing, it at least gives you your career visibility and how that comes into play. So we have this community, depending on what you want to develop. Maybe you're good into software, you join a software community. You're more interested in data science, you join a data science community. More interested into cloud, you join a cloud community such as CloudForceSky, and then through those you actively engage in terms of maybe the other projects. You actively participate in projects. You actively participate in terms of sharing whatever you know, what you're good at. By doing so, you see that you are bringing out your career. People are able to know what you're good at. Your career growth will be as easy. In terms of the growth, it will be as easy as how many people know what you're good at. You can be good at something, but if that one is not reflected, or maybe people cannot see, it may take you maybe a longer time for you to realize the growth that you could have realized if people are able to see, okay, if I need to develop multi-service or maybe a decoupled application, I understand I need to go to person A because he's good at his craft. Maybe if I need to want someone who can take me through a cloud assessment to see how my security posture looks like, how my cost looks like, am I doing this one according to the vendor recommended practices? I know person A talks about this and this. So if you engage in these communities and then you speak more of what you like, it's not that you're boasting about yourself, but at least you bring out the good in you through the community. That one can really amplify your career growth, because now this one, when people get to know what you're good at, now this one, it brings you to, it makes it to be at the top of their mind. That one is in terms of opportunities or in any opening that you can get. So you may ask yourself, we know, okay, we know the community plays these kind of roles in terms of my career development. So what's next? And this one will bring me to my last presentation. What next? So what now? You have learned that career, there's not networking opportunities, SG knowledge sharing. So to you, what will you do? One, what I can like to encourage all of us is, whenever the community that you join, there's a lot of community. Not necessarily that all of us will have to join one community. We'll join a community that share the same goal as you, the community that share the same career objective as you. If you want to develop more into a DevOps community, there's one in Kenya that is called Nairobi DevOps Community. If you want to develop more in cloud, there's CloudForceSky, there's Resource Cloud Academy. If you want to develop more into software, we have Moringa, and mention them. So one, if you join those communities, ensure that your active participation. Attend the events. Through attending these events, that is where you're able to form very tangible networks. You're very meeting, maybe will create 2 or 3 friends who will translate later to maybe your study friends or partners that will ensure you push with them you push with them your career growth. Because what you are doing, I remember, and what I'm doing, when I already in a community, I also have 2 or 3 people, and then we say that, okay, in this quarter we normally continue with what we started, where we say that in this quarter we are learning a new skill. It might not be the same skill. I might be learning, maybe I'm learning network security. The other person may be learning in terms of maybe infrastructure as a code. The other may be learning about designing, but at least to ensure by the end of the quarter, someone is like checking on you, saying that, okay, we are nearing the end of the quarter. We are only 10 weeks, the year ends, and that marks the end of the 4th quarter. Where are you in terms of this and this skill that you're learning? So you see, you can form I can say a buddy or something of the sort, and then you collaborate. Ensure that there is collaboration. Whenever the community that you join is believe in those communities, they are normally projects that they run. In those projects, it doesn't necessarily mean that you must be a guru or you must be knowing your stuff very well for you to collaborate on the project. Just bring the little idea that you may think you have on the table, and then you'll see through going through the program or the project that the people are doing, you are able to develop skills that you had. And by the end of the project, you'll see, okay, you have learned various aspects, because also you have learned the aspect of collaboration. If you are guys, you're using GitHub, for example, as your repo, and then you're doing the project, at least there are some basic skills that you'll be learning. Okay, you're learning and you're doing a commit. Is your PR being accepted? Your pull request being accepted? Why not being accepted? What are these areas that you need to work on? There is that aspect that we foster when you collaborate on a project. There are both technical skills that you get and also soft skills that you get from them, and also share knowledge. Mentor, if for you, your case, you already started out, you've learned, you're already maybe in the associate level. There are those who are beginning. So try to mentor them in terms of maybe giving them resources where they can get this knowledge, make their work a bit harder, a bit easier, because you've already traded the places where they are trading. So mentor, through mentorship, we also try to realize some of the strengths that you have. Also, you try to build kind of the leadership skills, something that maybe you cannot see on your own, but something that will translate along when maybe through your organization that you join or whatever that you'll be partaking, whatever that brings joy to you, you will see that one being translating there. And then another thing is give talks. You don't necessarily need to be an expert in something so that you can give a talk about it. You have learned about today you have come and build an EC2 instance. You have managed to maybe RDP into it or SSH into it. And then there was a challenge maybe when you're doing an EC2 instance, you download a different kind of key, and maybe the key that needs for you to get that administrative password supposed to be a PM format. And then you learn how to convert the key format that you downloaded to PM using maybe any tool that you can use in that conversion. So that one is something, in as much as looks like simple, but try to give a talk on how you maneuver through all that process, what you did, what are the challenge. Gives the talk can be as small as that one to a topic, to giving a talk into a major concept. So give those talks, take opportunities. For example, the CloudForceSky, those call for speakers sessions whereby not necessarily experts that will need to come in and give you topics on something. You try to get those opportunities through giving these topics that you can also iron in your skills, like also presentations and all those kind of things. Other things is write blogs, try to document whatever that you are doing. In this case, this challenge was a simple challenge, but at least you came through this challenge. Try to write a blog about it. It can be a 100 words blog. Someone will read somewhere. This one you may use it during interview processes, and I believe a lot of people can give testimonies when it comes to documenting what you are doing. And then the other one is leverage your network. The people around you, we all know that we are as good as those around us. So don't move alone. Try to influence one or two friends. You went to an event, for example, on Saturday, this coming Saturday is an event about the Nairobi DevOps community. They're having an event. You manage to attend the event because people are purchasing a ticket, and you're lucky enough you purchase the tickets. Maybe your friends did not manage because of one or two circumstances. You go to the event, and then there was this powerful sharing about maybe this new service that it comes, and maybe you think it can change the whole game around DevOps practices. You have about maybe Azure DevOps tool. Someone shared about Azure DevOps, how now it's revolutionizing the industry. So that one's good. Come back. Those around you, they did not get the opportunity to attend, but okay, tell them, yeah, okay, let's look at this and this service. I heard the speaker talking about this particular thing. How about now we learn about that particular service? So you see that through your own network. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to network with maybe the people in the organizations or the CTO, the CEOs. It is maybe as little as those people are your peers. It is your peers that will recommend jobs for you. It is your peers that will mention your name in places whereby if maybe you do not empower them, your name could not be heard. So empower your peers a lot, because those are the ones who will talk more about you. So build on that network. And lastly, I'll finish by giving you this saying from Maya Angelou that says, if you get, give; if you learn, you teach. So that is my key takeaway for today's session, as we are trying to look in the role of the communities in terms of our career development, in terms of how we influence build any career. I know in this case we are built more about tech because the CloudForceSky is a tech community, but this translates to any other community that you're pushing. If you get, you give, and if you learn, you teach. By doing that one, you'll get that day in, day out. You get to be. It's like you'll catapult in your career journey. And by that point, I would like to take any question, if there's any from any one of you. If there's any other question, I'd like to take you back to Patrick.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Evans. A round of applause to Evans. Sorry, Albert. A round of applause to Albert. But that was insightful. That was insightful. Sorry, they say that a man cannot multitask. I was actually chatting, trying to chat Evans, and then you called my name. So Albert, that was really, really insightful. All through when you were presenting, I was just trying to think of the role of C in CD, the role of community in community development, and you have captured it so nicely, so nicely on how communities actually can help us to leverage and even to develop and become better in our career paths and even as we develop. And that is very, very true. And yes, Albert is also a co-founder of those two communities that he has mentioned. Please feel free to reach out. Feel free to join those communities. Feel free to join join the likes of Nairobi DevOps community and any other community that you feel can add value towards your community development. Remember, community career development. Remember, it is very, very important for you to. You cannot walk alone. A man is not an island. It's important that you work with others. When you work in a community, you actually ease in. Even your journey becomes easy because you can leverage on the resources and the people in those communities. And one important thing that also Albert has mentioned is the fact that you see in these communities we have people at different levels. You can find that we have guys who are experts in the field, we have guys who are beginners, and we have guys who are intermediate. And so you see, working with such people, it's very, very easy for you to stand on the shoulders of giants and reach out to where you'd like to go. I was making this story so that I see if we have any other question from anybody that we can direct to Albert. But I've just seen one right now. So Solomon, you're asking, you mentioned about a program you joined. Is it still open? So Albert, there's a program you mentioned that you joined?
Okay, so at the moment, it is a research program. At the moment, it's being offered by Jira. Yeah, so I believe the course, the September course has already started. Watch out for the January cohorts. Join either of the community. If you join the CloudForceSky, I believe you guys also mention it there whenever there's an opening.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and also the Resource Cloud Academy also mention it whenever there are openings. So look out for January cohort.
Yes. Awesome. True to that. So Solomon, you can do as advised. Join the communities, and then it will be mentioned in those communities. And what advice? Okay, Remy, I can now see questions are coming in. So what advice from Remy? What advice do you have for unhealthy competition within communities? Yes, Albert. Unhealthy competition within communities.
Okay. That is a tough one, unhealthy competition within communities. I like to think about it in a way that if you are getting into unhealthy competition, is like maybe you are trying to compare yourself with someone else. Or maybe you see others are maybe stage B and then you stage A, you feel kind of a competition. But Remy, feel free to unmute and correct me if I'm getting a different perspective. But what I can say in that one is we limit comparison. We just, in as much as this community will help us to develop our career journey, let us understand that maybe people have different career paths. You may be doing the same thing, but your growth may take this curve, someone else growth may take the other curve. You might be doing the same thing, and then you see the other person is maybe prospering as compared to you. What I can say is that you take it in a positive way. Just ensure that you try to learn whatever you feel that maybe you're not doing and is doing, but not in a point of comparison, but in a point of maybe trying to fill the gaps that you are. Because I believe it is the same person that you are thinking that maybe is ahead of you that will likely assist you in coming up, because you'll see an opportunity in the place that they're working, and then if you still give a good rapport between the two, you might find it easier for recommendation. So the major thing I can say that is we can limit comparing our journeys with other people's journey. We take different directions, but the only thing is at least ensure that we keep the eye on the ball. We don't lose focus by something that may come in within.
Awesome. Albert, that was really insightful. I always believe that it is important for people to stop competing and think of collaborating. Collaboration is better than competing. And you've also mentioned something to do with comparison. Comparison is actually a thief of all joy. When you compare yourselves, it is foolhardy for you to compare. Let's say you want to compare yourself, you who is on the path towards becoming a solution architect, you want to compare yourself with someone who is headed towards DevOps. So you see, it does not work. But also, let me also add one more thing. I think also unhealthy competition within communities, not just within, let's say, RCA internally or CloudForce internally. Let's say competition now between CloudForce and RCA. You see, the easiest way to deal with that is looking for areas of synergy. The way we are currently working with RCA in the project, in the bootcamp that we are jointly running. When you look for these areas of synergy, you come to realize that there are actually strengths that you can leverage from one community, and then it builds both of your communities, and it also builds your members. It enriches your members. So Remy, I hope you've been answered, and I think Lewis has also said something insightful down there. He has said, I think you have to complement each other rather than compete. Totally agree. That is awesome. That is very good, Lewis. That's very good. Awesome. Do you have any other question before we end? Going once, going twice, and it's gone. So maybe for just 1 minute, let me first of all thank all of us for attending today's webinar. Let me also thank Albert for setting aside this time to come and speak to us. That was really nice, and we are really grateful, and we are looking forward to having you again. And before we go, it's also important that we mention there is a very important event that is happening this Saturday. This coming Saturday, Nairobi DevOps community is having an event. It's called Africa DevOps Day. I think that is the name or something like that. So if you don't have tickets, please check around LinkedIn. You can follow their page on LinkedIn. You will get directions on how to get the tickets, and we hope to see you in the event. So from us here at CloudForceSky, we wish you a wonderful evening and a blessed remainder of your week. So bye-bye for now. Till next time. See you. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.